Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, I wanted to do a little follow-up of, the Genshin survey, because I ain't gonna lie, bro, this shit kind of pissed me off, but we're gonna fill this out later on in this video. We're gonna fill it out because if I'm gonna complain about all these issues in Genshin, I might as well fill out the survey. I still think it's a waste of time because after 4 years, the best they can do is make a survey to ask us once again, how do we feel about these issues, which is ridiculous. But we're going to fill it out later on in the video. So the main topic here is gatekeepers and casual players, right? So the reason why I want to talk about this is because after I made that survey video, I was like, let me read some tweets real quick. Let me read some tweets. And I landed on this tweet right here. And this was underneath the version 5.4 update maintenance preview or whatever. A lot of people responded under this, like a lot of people responded to this Genshin tweet saying, you guys need to fix your game, this and that, yada yada yada. So this tweet right here, let's go ahead and read it. It says, if everyone hates Genshin so much, here's an idea, a great idea. Just go play a different game and stop playing Genshin. So, after I read this, I was like, all right, there are so many things wrong with this, because the crazy part is this tweet right here pretty much represent a majority of the community, like a huge majority of the people in this community, because a lot of people think this way. Whenever people want to mention issues in Genshin Impact, right, their response to that is, well, if you don't like the game, then just leave, right? Or they would say, well, this is a casual game. It's not for hardcore players. You know what I'm saying? It's a casual game. So if you're expecting them to implement these changes into the game, it's not going to happen because it is a casual game. So at this point, I'm like, all right, we have been using the casual excuse for like the past 4 fucking years. And I feel like it's getting to a point where the casual excuse, it fucking expired. It expired. Now, I'm not saying that Genshin Impact is not a casual game. It is 100% a casual game. Definitely casual game. It's easy as fuck. Easy game. Definitely a casual game. But the problem is, I find it weird how every single time somebody complains about, the game, and they want the game to improve, they want the devs to improve the game, these people respond with, leave the game, or it's a casual game, you're expecting way too much out of this game. And it's like, all right, when we take a look at games like Infinity Nikki, right, this is a casual game, right? Infinity Nikki, pure casual game, right? Version 1.1, I think this came out on December 29th, I think, I don't know, but yeah, Infinity Nikki, right? You guys can see they have maintenance duration, compensation, new content, events, right? We scroll some more, they have quests, a lot of things going on. But this part right here, keep in mind, guys, this is a casual game. Let's read this. Added the assisted path mechanism to dungeons. When stylists repeatedly fail to clear certain stages, an option to enable the assisted path will be triggered. If you wish to quickly experience the subsequent content of the dungeon, you can choose to enable the assisted path to clear the current stage. And we continue, it says, added quick challenge to Realm of the Dark, Realm of Eureka, whatever the fuck that is. After the update, stylists who clear the corresponding levels can unlock quick. After the version update on December 29th, stylists must clear each corresponding realm challenge at least once to unlock quick challenge. So it's pretty obvious that this is a quality of life update. If there are any Infinity Nikki players, please comment down below any issues you had with the game, right? And if this was one of your main complaints about the game, let me know in the comment section down below. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this essentially proves that a game being casual shouldn't stop the devs from improving it, right? If you as a casual player are pissed off that other people want the game to improve, like other people want the game to like if you as a casual player, you're essentially trying to limit other players' experience because you feel like the game should only cater to your preference, right? And I think that's the problem. It's like these people think that them being casual players mean that, okay, this game should just cater to them only. And I do feel like, yes, there are some casual players who play this game, but there are definitely gatekeepers who label themselves as casual players. Because let's be honest, guys, it's really weird how whenever players would complain about issues in Genshin Impact, these so-called casual players will come out of nowhere and say, well, it's a casual game. They don't need to implement these changes. It's like, all right, bro, are you really a casual player, bro? Or are you just a fucking gatekeeper, right? Because when we take a look at the definition of a casual player, right? It says a casual player is someone who plays video games, but doesn't spend a lot of time on them. Casual players are more relaxed about gaming and may play when they feel like it. Reserved resin. Reserved resin is an amazing feature, especially for casual players, because casual players, they're not going to spend too much time playing the game. So imagine you as a casual player, you not playing a game for like 2 to 3 days, you're pretty much storing resin. And when you get back into the game, let's say on a Wednesday night, you open the game, boom, 2,000 resin. That's great. Like, who doesn't want that? Right? Who doesn't want that in a game? Because it actually benefits casual players. But it's still odd to me how these people would still go against these improvements. They would say, well, it's a casual game. You know, the game is, it should just be the way, like Genshin Impact is perfectly fine the way it is. It's insane to me. It's like the way that these people describe casual players for Genshin Impact is like these players would essentially turn on the fucking game and they would just look at the characters for 5 hours, pick up mint, and log off. Like at this point, I feel like the way these people view casual players for Genshin is honestly getting disrespectful at this point, because like as a casual player, you don't really care what happens to the game, but at the same time, why are you gatekeeping changes? Why are you gatekeeping improvements? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if these people would put very satisfied in this survey just so that the devs won't fix this shit. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all, because there are definitely gatekeepers who are in this fucking community. And I do feel like these gatekeepers are just labeling themselves as casual players just so that, you know, people won't get on their tails. But it's like, nah, bro, I don't think you're a fucking casual player, man. You're a fucking gatekeeper. A true casual player wouldn't care about these changes being implemented in the game. They wouldn't care because it doesn't affect their experience. And a matter of fact, it enhances their experience, right? Removing this schedule so that players can grind whenever they want. This is literally a positive for everybody. This benefits everyone because you can do whatever you want. But the fact that you can't do whatever you want with this fucking schedule, that literally is a negative for casual players as well. Imagine summoning for a character and you can't even use that character because you have to wait till Tuesday to level up their talents. It's bullshit. It affects everybody. It affects casual players, affects hardcore players, sweaty players. It affects everybody. So it's really crazy to me how, you know, some of these people are still trying to find ways on how to defend these issues in the game by saying, well, it's because this is a casual game. I'm sorry, bro. That excuse expired fucking 2024, bro. The casual excuse is cooked. Yes, Genshin Impact is a casual game, but that doesn't mean that the game is immune to improvements, right? Because I do find it weird how these so-called casual players, and this is in general, right? I find it weird how when they released their developers discussion, the most recent one, this is on 2020, don't pay attention to this, but their most recent developers discussion, right? You didn't see any, you know, gatekeepers saying, well, you know, they don't need to implement these changes because casual players don't care. However, when it comes to these issues in a game, all of a sudden, it's a casual game. They don't need to implement these changes. I find it really odd, bro. That's why I'm saying, man, these two terms right here, they're being conflated, bro. They're being conflated. I feel like these people, they're just essentially disguising themselves as casual players, but in reality, no, you're just a fucking gatekeeper, bro. We look at Minecraft. Even Minecraft, bro, you can do whatever you want in this fucking game, and they literally have quality of life updates. You look at this right here, redesigned Bad Omen to give access to ominous events, added 6 new status effects, added 9 new music tracks, added 4 new achievements, added 3 new music discs, 20 new paintings, 4 new tipped arrows. Bro, bro, this is Minecraft we're talking about, man. Do you see anybody going out of their way saying, Minecraft is a casual game, so therefore they shouldn't improve it? Fuck no, bro. No one is saying that lame ass shit. Nobody is saying that, because if you are a casual player, you don't give a fuck. You don't care. You can do whatever you want in this game. These changes won't affect you. I would understand if they implemented, let's say, an in-game content, and in this in-game content, only like, you know, hardcore players have access to this, right? Let's say players who have C6, like if they have C6 characters, they're the only ones who can have access to this content. That's understandable. But simple things like this, where they're implementing quality of life updates that can make the game better, and it can pretty much enhance the overall experience for every single player in the game, how the fuck does this affect a casual player? How does it affect the casual player? That's why I don't understand that argument. You look at Infinity Nikki, quality of life updates. These must have been an issue for players. I have no fucking idea. But they still implemented these changes because it makes the game better. It doesn't affect anybody in a negative way. And once again, guys, these are optional. It all goes back to the skip button, right? It all goes back to the skip button. Players who are saying, there shouldn't be a skip button. Listen, the skip button is optional. It is optional. If you open up Genshin Impact, there's not going to be a fat skip button in the fucking screen that's going to tell you, hey, if you want to play this game, you have to skip it. No, that's not going to happen. It's optional. So I don't understand what the problem is whenever players mention these issues in the game. It's like all of a sudden, nah, bro, this is a casual game. You're not supposed to bring up these issues because it doesn't matter. It is a casual game. You're supposed to enjoy the game for what it is. If you don't like it, then leave. It's like, holy shit, bro. You got gatekeeping, toxic positivity, shields. Like, this community just has it all, bro. This community has it all. Like, when it comes to League of Legends, man, I will say for League of Legends, they're fucking toxic, but at the same time, League of Legends players, they actually unite when the devs fuck up the game. At least League of Legends players, they stick together and go up against the devs. But when it comes to Genshin Impact, it's like, bro, like this community is just so fucking divided, man. It's just crazy. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, that's really what I wanted to talk about. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I think that was a, a little chit chat with you guys. But if you're in like an Infinity Nikki player, Minecraft player, whatever, let me know in the comment section down below. What are your biggest issues with the game? And did these dev notes affect your overall experience with the game? Because your input on this, like you commenting your issues with the game and you saying that you don't have an issue with this, essentially proves my point that yes, as a casual player, these changes in Genshin Impact, right, them taking out this schedule that's going to block players out from grinding for materials whenever they want, it's just not going to fucking affect you, bro. It's not going to affect you. So using the casual player excuse, I don't know, man. I think that shit is cringe as fuck, man. It's so cringe, bro. And it's just gatekeeping at this point. All right, so sorry for the cut, guys, but for some odd reason, like the survey just logged me out. Maybe because I was taking too long and I was yapping too much, but it just logged me out. So I tried to log back in, didn't let me. So I tried to, refresh. Nothing happened. Got on incognito, and it worked. So we're gonna do it through here. Let's go and do this survey, man. This is embarrassing, but let's go and do it. How satisfied are you with the time limit on acquiring talent level up materials and weapon ascension materials? Very unsatisfied. Very, very unsatisfied. I don't even have to explain myself. It's just horrible. This is one of the worst things I've seen in a gacha game. It's just dumb. It makes no sense. How do you prefer to farm materials? Focus on schedule planning. I pay attention to the domain opening schedule and plan my farming strategy. I don't pay much attention to the opening schedule and just farm whenever. Honestly, like, the thing is like, because they have this horrible system in the game, it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if people pay attention to the domain opening schedule, because we're set to think that way because it is stupid ass opening schedule. It just makes no damn sense. But I'm gonna put I don't pay much attention to the opening schedule and just farm whenever, so that they can understand that this schedule is just pointless. It's really pointless. So make sure that you guys put this response right here in the bottom. Say I don't pay much attention to the opening schedule and just farm whenever, so that you guys can tell them that the schedule that they put in the game to lock players from grinding whenever they want is just insignificant, and it is a useless feature in the game. Let's go next here. How do you prefer to farm materials? Focus on resin usage. I tend to stockpile resin and farm everything at once. I prefer to farm a bit each day, spreading it out over several days. Now the thing is, they only give us 200 resin. They don't really give us a lot of condensed resin. So, I mean, I'm a one-time guy. Like, especially when I'm trying to build a character, I use every ounce of my resin. Every ounce. So I'm gonna put I stockpile resin. I mean, the thing is, it's capped at 200. So how the fuck can you stockpile if it's capped at 200? There's no reserve resin. So I'm still gonna pick I tend to stockpile resin and farm everything at once because I want to get everything over with. So I'm gonna put that down. Why do you find the process of building talent level up in weapon ascension materials unsatisfactory? The progression feels disjointed. Yes, we're gonna pick that. I miss material farming times for various reasons. Yes, time limits make it hard to plan resin usage effectively. Yes. Let's go ahead and type these issues been in the game for the past 4 years. Get it together. How satisfied are you with the material farming experience from weekly boss fights? Very unsatisfied. Guys, if you pick very satisfied, I hope you fall down the stairs, man. How's your material farm frequency? I only farm materials for the characters I'm currently building. When I have characters to build, I farm 3 times a week. When I have characters to build, I farm more than 3 times a week. Regardless of whether I have characters to build, I farm 3 times a week. Regardless of whether I have characters to build, I farm more than 3 times a week. I'm gonna pick this right here because, you know, I just go into a domain, get what I gotta get for my characters, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man. 3 times every week, man. 3 times every week. I think they're talking about weekly boss fights, right? Yeah, weekly boss fights. Why would they include I farm more than 3 times a week, knowing full and well we can't go above 3 attempts? Like, there's only 3 attempts capped. So how can you possibly farm over 3 times a week when you can't even get the materials after you did 3 attempts? Am I missing something here? Am I stupid or something? I don't know. But I'm gonna pick this one right here because we can only farm 3 times a week. That's it. And the worst part is, if you don't get that material, well, go fuck yourself, because you're not gonna get that material for the remaining week, which is ridiculous. Such a horrible feature. What aspects of the material farming experience from weekly boss fights do you find unsatisfactory? Among the randomly dropped materials, sometimes I am unable to obtain the materials I need. This is so crazy to me, bro. Like, honestly, it's crazy how I didn't notice this. Like, when the game first came out, I'm pretty sure this was in the game when it first came out, right? RNG, boss RNG. It was always in the game. But it's honestly insane to me how this has been happening for 4 years, where players, the worst thing is, players would spend money on the game. Imagine using money, spending money, right, to C6 a character, and you can't even get the materials you need to level up that character and use them. That's insane, bro, because of boss RNG, bro. It's absolutely insane. Boss can only be farmed once a week, and the material acquisition efficiency is too low. Definitely gonna pick that. The acquisition quantity of Dream Solvent and other auxiliary items cannot satisfy my needs. We're gonna pick that as well. You see, the thing is, Dream Solvent would have been a nice solution, but it's still fucking useless because the drop rate for the chances of you getting Dream Solvent, like, it's like a 25% chance, bro. It's really hard to get Dream Solvents. Like, if you guys are gonna put this RNG shit in a game, at least give us Dream Solvents so that we can, you know, exchange the materials that we don't need to get the materials that we actually need to level up our characters. It just makes no fucking sense, man. For other, repeat the same exact thing again. You guys shouldn't wait, hold up. You guys have the data. Why are you asking these questions when you know these features? When you know this feature horrible. When you know, no, not feature, this system. This RNG system horrible. All right, let's go ahead and proofread it. Make sure you guys proofread your sentences. You guys have the data. Why are you asking these questions when you know this RNG system is horrible? Let's continue. Do the acquisition limits on the materials mentioned above affect your motivation to build the character? Yes, bro. Like, why am I gonna sit here and, like, what's the point? Right? What's the point? New character comes out. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to build this character. And then I see their materials. I'm like, okay, it seems like I'm gonna have to go fight who should I fight? Apep, right? The Denjo Dragon. Let's say I go fight Apep, or I go fight Raiden Shogun. I go fight Raiden Shogun and I don't get the material. And I'm like, damn, bro, I can't use that character for a week because they're under leveled and they're gonna get one tap. It's like, it's such a shitty feeling, bro, that you summon for that character, you get the character, and you can't even use them for like 2 or 3 days, or even a fucking week, or even 6 weeks. Because the RNG system for bosses, it's not guaranteed, bro. You can literally spend 6 weeks grinding these bosses, and you might not get any of the materials you need to level up your characters. It's completely retarded, bro. But that's it. We're gonna click next. Thank you for the answers. I'm surprised how they didn't even include a feedback section. That's kind of weird, but I heard that they didn't even include this in the game, which is kind of weird to me. Like, this is a big survey. You guys should put this in the game so that a lot of people can be aware about this, but instead you put it in HoYoLab. And a lot of people are not really active in HoYoLab, so I find it kind of sus that they only implemented this in HoYoLab but not the game. Kind of weird. They always put their surveys in the game, but for some odd reason it's not in the game. For this survey is not in the game. I wonder why, because they don't even want these changes in the game to begin with. It's still crazy how after 4 years the best they can do is ask us, how do we feel about the same issues? It's so out of touch, man. So out of touch. But yeah, once again, guys, when it comes to the whole casual player excuse, I'm really getting sick and tired of it, man. It's such a bullshit excuse, really equivalent to, you know, the coding excuse, where players are saying the reason why they can't implement these changes is because of coding, which is just delusional. Because you guys won't believe it. Some players were actually saying the reason why they won't implement, not why won't they implement, the reason why they won't change the schedule bullshit, like the reason why they won't improve it is because of coding. If that's the case, why is there a limited time event where players can grind for materials whenever they want? I thought the devs couldn't put it in the game because of coding. It's insane, man. But yeah, gatekeeping casual players. I do feel like these two terms are being conflated. It doesn't matter if you're a casual player. These changes won't affect you. And if you are stopping players, right? Not even stopping players. If you are stopping the game, like, from improving just because you want to keep that casual experience to yourself, like you want to keep that casual experience, you're essentially just sabotaging the game at this point, because there are so many aspects that make Genshin Impact. Exploration, combat, story, right? Serenity Teapot, whatever that's called. You go into the teapot and building your own house. There are so many aspects that makes Genshin Impact, and to just say, well, it's a casual game, so therefore there's no need for it to improve the game. It's just so like, it's just gatekeeping energy, man. It really is gatekeeping energy. And I'm just getting sick and tired of the casual experience. Like, I'm getting sick and tired of like the casual player excuse. Like, I'm getting sick of it because I've seen it too many times. And the only time these players mention casual players is when we talk about these issues, which is fucking weird. Whenever the devs would implement useless updates, they don't talk about casual players. But the moment we criticize the game and we talk about these issues, all of a sudden the game is casual. The game is for casual players only. Very, very weird. But once again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.